Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another third stimulus check unemployment benefits extension update. So today's update, I really just want to talk even more specifically in details about where every single state currently stands when it comes to unemployment, but specifically about when they're hoping to specifically end. Because as most of you guys know, and once again is that I know that last week was probably a very particularly difficult week. I think that it's very fair to say that at the very start of last week, I don't think any one of us thought that we were going to be where we ended up actually being by the end of the last very week. Basically within that 7-day stretch, I don't think anyone suddenly thought that basically over 18 states or 18 plus states were basically going to now announce suddenly out of nowhere that they were going to end their unemployment early. I talked a lot more about that in the previous video. I'll put that at the end screen. It's literally called 18 states. Highly recommend if you guys haven't checked that out, but the specific 18 states, I believe, just as a quick recap, it's Montana, South Carolina, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota. Then I think it went to Iowa, Tennessee, Idaho, Wyoming. Newly joined was Arizona, Ohio, Georgia, South Dakota, Utah, and then West Virginia and Alaska, I think were the last two recent. I believe that Indiana and Pennsylvania mentioned that they were possibly going to be announcing something soon, and they might have even already announced it by the time you're watching this. If you happen to be in any of these states, or if you just have any information about your specific state, feel free to just comment and share them down below, because I'm sure every single person would, I don't want to say love to, but would be interested at the very least in just hearing whether it's easy or maybe less easy to take in. But in today's update, I really just want to talk about where every single state currently stands in terms of what exactly is specifically ending, and then when it actually is physically ending, so you guys know what to actually anticipate. Because the semi-news is that some states will be ending it even more particularly early than other states, and other states might be ending it early, but maybe not as early compared to some of the other states that will be ending it even earlier. So we're going to talk all about that in today's update, but maybe real fast before we get straight into it, consider smashing the like button if you guys enjoy videos like this. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell, especially as we get even more updates, because the information is coming out every single hour. I'm pretty sure that every single couple of hours, if you tried to refresh the news off of whether this is Forbes or Business Insider, there is just something new that is going to pop up. So if you guys are interested, consider subscribing for that. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about honestly anything at all, especially because again, I do know there's probably a lot of personal thoughts about what's been going on. And also again, if you have any particular information, feel free to share them as well, so we can potentially collect them and share them in future videos. So with that being said, let's just get this video rolling right on the spot. So I believe at this time is that the current schedule directly off of Forbes is that on June 12th, the first 4 states that will be ending their unemployment early, so if you happen to be, in these states, is going to be Missouri, Iowa, Mississippi, and Alaska. Those are the 4 states that will be ending it that very, very end of the first, mid-second week of June. The week right after that, so June 19th, it's going to be Alabama, West Virginia, Idaho, North Dakota, and Wyoming. The week after that, it's going to be Ohio, Georgia, Utah, Arkansas, South Dakota, and then I believe on June 28th, it's going to be Montana, and the very, very last day of June, it's going to be in South Carolina. So in total, in the entire month of June, we are going to be seeing Missouri, Iowa, Mississippi, Alaska, Alabama, West Virginia, Idaho, North Dakota, Wyoming, Ohio, Georgia, and Utah, Arkansas, South Dakota, and Montana ending their unemployment earlier than the anticipated September 2021. And I believe that was 16 states, I believe, if I counted it correctly. And then afterwards, I believe in the very first week of July, on July 3rd, Tennessee is going to be announcing their ending, or is basically planning their end, which is sad because the fact that this happens to have to be the day right before July 4th. And then the following week, July 10th, I believe is going to be Arizona. So I do know is that of the states that are ending early, Tennessee and Arizona is going to be in July. Almost every state that is currently announced at this time is going to be in June. Now, if you are not part of any of these 18 states, then the relatively great news, at least for now, at this current time, is that you are probably relatively safe, and you should have your unemployment all the way until the originally planned September 2021 deadline that was originally signed in the third stimulus package. Now, in terms of what actually specifically ending, I think it's important to clarify is that pretty much every single kind of unemployment program, whether this is PUA, PEUC, the $300, that's called the FPUC, pretty much every single unemployment program is pretty much going to be ending in all of these states except traditional UI. So in other words, traditional unemployment. Because traditional unemployment has really been just the unemployment program that has been around for pretty much just years and years and years since the start of the unemployment programs in just American history. Now, with that being said, I do think it's important that even if you are on the traditional UI, the great news is that you would be able to stay on your unemployment if you are in one of these 18 states. However, the $300 will be ending. So it still will be a huge, pretty massive impact, because it means that you're probably going to be collecting your just usual unemployment, basically everything you're collecting now minus $300 per week. And I know that for a lot of people, especially because there's a lot of people that they're only collecting about $100 to $200 to $300, that $300 or lack of $300 sadly is going to make a pretty massive difference. And now I do also really want to specify is that even though information is moving really fast, the good and not so good news, depending on how things play out, is that everything mentioned in this video can very much change, and probably will very much change, and it can go both ways. There is actually a group of people right now, I believe, that are trying to push for more ending, but there's also some that are actually trying to fight it right now, especially in certain Democratic groups. I think that there's been a push that they're trying to prevent as many more states from losing, so basically to keep as many more states on the program as much as possible. Now, I do believe is that there are a couple states right now at this time that it's not, I don't think it's confirmed yet, although if you do have information, consider sharing it once again, because you guys probably, as we kind of mentioned, is that the people that are in that particular state will probably always have the most accurate information, since they are currently living everything firsthand than almost any other news article right now. But I do believe is that there are some states that are planning to possibly try to end the unemployment early, but only for the PUA program and the PEUC, but not necessarily the $300. So that is one thing to notice. This is not confirmed at this time, although maybe it will be by the time that you're watching this video. But it is something to possibly note. But I do believe that the majority of them, I'd say over 80% that do announce some kind of early end, will probably be ending it in its entirety. But aside from that, that's pretty much what I really just wanted to cover in today's update. So hopefully you guys know even more specifics about what to expect. I sincerely hope that we're able to get more people to stay on their unemployment, or that it's even possible that maybe they actually reverse the decision and actually bring some of these unemployment programs back to some of the states that originally announced, especially since, again, we haven't actually reached that particular date. But at this point, I would really just, as mentioned, is to really just stay on guard and really just to prepare for it to swing in either ways, even though hopefully it swings in the brighter way. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Maybe consider smashing the like button if you guys hopefully found that insightful, even though I know it might be difficult, but you guys can decide. And consider subscribing and hitting the bell for future updates. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, thoughts, any personal thoughts about honestly just really anything, or any information about anything at all. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.